Well, baby, I'm on it with a bottle of wine and an old dirt road, and you're ready to go if you want to. Hey, thanks everybody for joining us today. Live Music Nation podcast, Pumpkin Patch Edition. Today we are with Jeanne. She is with the Johnson Farm and Pumpkin. I missed something. What did I miss?
Johnson Farms, Plants and Pumpkins.
Plants and Pumpkins. Very good. Jeanne, thanks for joining us today.
Thanks for having me.
Give us a little background on you and your family and your farm.
Okay. I have a degree in French. I'll start there so that it all makes sense, right?
Right.
My husband is a fourth generation farmer from Indiana, and he and I and my in-laws, his parents, bought this farm out here in south of Kansas City in the metro so that we could do what we're doing, which is agritourism. My background is in food, and specialty food in particular.
Okay.
So I met that family at a farmer's market in Columbia, Missouri, and I've been involved with the farm ever since then. So that was in 1995. We've been at our location here for 22 years. We started off with a really large greenhouse business. In the spring, we built a 1 acre greenhouse. And for probably about 10 to 15 years, it was predominantly greenhouse sales as we built the agritourism business, which was the fall. And then right around 2011, 12, 13, somewhere in there, it started to slowly turn the tables. And all of a sudden, agritourism was a lot bigger than the greenhouse business. Yeah. And then COVID hit, and that made the agritourism business crazy busy. So COVID hit in 2020, right in March, which is when we start planting all of our plants for the spring season. And so we're like, okay, well, we're not going to be doing that.
Yeah.
So we have not yet picked that business back up yet.
Okay.
Because we have enough time and enough people to do the fall business well, and we don't have to do the spring business. Although, as I told you, I have a second job because I'm bored because I don't have anything to do in the spring, really, not like I do in the fall. So we are looking at next year bringing something back in some way, shape, or form in the spring.
Very cool. Very cool. All right, let's jump in. Let's jump into your fall events. The farm, when people step out and they step on the farm property, what are they going to see? Let's start with that.
Okay. So in my mind, they see blue sky, first of all.
All right.
I have always thought that our farm is like you'll drive up and there'll be a ton of cars, but once you go through the admission gate and you walk out a bit away from the playground, it's blue sky and crops and families having a good time. We have a 5,000 plus apple tree orchard. You can go get lost in there. We have a small corn maze. You can get lost in there.
Nice.
We've got about 30, 40 acres of pumpkins. Everything is U-pick. We also have a U-pick vegetable patch. So there's lots of different places for people to go, and they just spread out, and you don't feel like there's a million people there.
Oh, perfect. Perfect. Okay, next question people are going to want to know, food, etc. What kind of smells are going to be in the air?
So the biggest thing on the farm are donuts.
Ooh.
And so we've been doing pumpkin spice donuts ever since we opened. And last year we started, because of the apple orchard, we started doing apple donuts. So you always smell donuts. It's just donut, donut, donut. And then the other thing that people have with that is a cider slush. So
wow.
that's brain freeze material.
Right. But you sold tickets right there with donuts. I mean, that's phenomenal. That's perfect. Okay. Next question people are going to have, what kind of activities they have, not only for kids, but also for adults. Kind of give them the rundown from that.
So we're very family oriented, and we kind of skew towards 12 and under. Like, I don't really have things for teenagers per se, except for the harvesting of stuff, which is really can be quite educational and really quite fun to see all the different types of tomatoes and peppers and beets and see how things grow. You know, our orchard is huge, and so you can go up there and, you know, pick all day if you wanted to. So we have two giant jumping pillows that people love. They're yeah, there's plenty of room for everybody on those. We also have all sorts of things for people to climb on for kids like from ages 12 and down. We also have a lot of goats, like a crazy amount of kids right now. I can't even tell you. I think we had 40 kids in June, so I've got a lot of baby goats. Yeah. And then we also specialize, every year we have 2 sows that will have their piglets, their litters, and people can watch those 2 different sows raising the piglets and watching them grow up.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Well, I know you're busy, and you know, you've got a lot going on there on the farm with all the different operations. What's the one thing that you enjoy the most?
I have to say the repeat customers and my repeat employees. That's what makes the whole thing worth it. When I see a family that's been coming in for years, I remember them, they remember me, or I'll see them out in the street somewhere and they'll say, hey, there's that pumpkin lady, you know. But by the same token, I have people that have been working for me as long as 15 years out of those, you know, 22 years.
Wow.
And it's just a seasonal job, but they come back, they know their job, they do a great job. You know, that's what makes my heart pound for this business. Yeah.
Very good. Very cool. All right. Couple of fun questions, just because these are my questions that I ask because it's what I do. I'm in live music and live entertainment. I always like to survey. So I'm going to ask you this first question, Jeanne. What is your favorite concert all time you've ever seen?
My very, very first concert, which was Rush.
Is that not cool? That's a great answer for 2 reasons. One, it's a great show. Number 2 is your first, and that we hear that sometimes. Okay, so think about this: dead or alive, you could bring one musical act or artist to your farm to raise money, as much money as possible, for a nonprofit that you dearly support. Who would you bring?
Hands down, James Taylor.
Oh yes, what a great farm tour that would be. Phenomenal.
Yeah, right.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's perfect. Jeanne, how do people, number one, thank you for waiting on us and thank you for your time today. How do people find out more about Johnson Farm?
So our website is Johnson Farms. So Johnson is singular, Farms has an S on the end, run all that together.net.
Okay.
And we have all sorts of, we have tickets. We sell tickets. That way we know who's coming to the party. You actually save money if you buy tickets ahead of time. It's a little more if you come to the party without, you know, your ticket in your hand. And we get going the end of August. We're still growing things, so I don't open until my stuff's ready. So we're looking at the end of August. We have 23,000 mums to sell, and we'll have Honeycrisp apples coming up pretty darn soon. So just watch the website and Facebook.
Absolutely. Jeanne, thank you again for joining us. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Jake. It's been fun.
You're welcome. Well, baby, I'm